How Panama became the world's most valuable shortcut. Imagine a ship leaving Asia with thousands of containers. It is carrying electronics, clothing, machinery, food, and raw materials. Its destination is on the other side of the world. Without one narrow canal in Central America, that ship may need to travel far around South America. That means more distance, more fuel, more time, more risk, and more money. But Panama offers something extremely valuable: a shortcut. And that shortcut became one of the most important pieces of geography on Earth. So the question is simple: how did Panama turn a thin strip of land into a global money machine? The answer begins with the map. Before the Panama Canal, moving goods between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans was slow and expensive. A ship could not simply cut through the Americas. It often had to travel around the southern edge of South America. That route was long. It was dangerous. And it added huge costs to global trade. For a shipping company, every extra day matters. Every extra kilometer means more fuel. Every delay means containers arrive later. In global trade, distance is not just geography. Distance is money. So the world had a problem. The Atlantic and Pacific were close on the map, but for ships, they were separated by an entire continent. Whoever could create a passage between them would not just build a canal. They would change the world economy. Now look at Panama on the map. It is a narrow bridge of land between North and South America. On one side is the Caribbean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. On the other side is the Pacific Ocean. This is why Panama became so important. It did not need to be a huge country. It did not need massive oil fields. It did not need to control an entire continent. Its power came from being narrow. Panama sat in exactly the kind of place where geography could become infrastructure. And infrastructure could become money. The Panama Canal was one of the most ambitious engineering projects in modern history. It was not just a ditch between two oceans. Workers had to cut through land. They had to manage water. They had to build locks that could lift and lower giant ships. They had to fight tropical disease, heavy rain, mud, and difficult terrain. When the canal opened in 1914, it changed the geography of trade. Ships no longer had to treat the Americas like one massive wall. They could cross through Panama. The canal made the world feel smaller. It connected oceans. It shortened routes, and it made Panama a key point in global movement. In simple terms, Panama became a gate. And ships paid to pass through it. The Panama Canal makes money because it solves an expensive problem. Ships do not pay because the canal is beautiful. They pay because time is valuable. They pay because fuel is expensive. They pay because delays cost money. For a shipping company, the calculation is simple. Is it cheaper to pay the canal toll? Or is it cheaper to travel the long way around? In many cases, the canal is the better choice. That is the business model. Panama is selling time. It is selling distance saved. It is selling access between two oceans, and because world trade depends on movement, that access is extremely valuable. The canal is not just water. It is infrastructure that turns geography into revenue. But the canal gives Panama more than money. It gives Panama strategic importance. Shipping companies care about it. Ports care about it. Governments care about it. Manufacturers care about it. Because if the canal slows down, the effects can move through the global economy. Ships may wait. Routes may change. Costs may rise. Delivery times may shift. This is the power of a choke point. A choke point is a narrow place where global movement becomes concentrated. And when movement is concentrated, control becomes valuable. Panama controls one of those places. That is why a relatively small country can matter so much to global trade. For many years, the canal was tied to foreign power and international politics. But in 1999, Panama gained full control of the canal. That changed the country's relationship with its most valuable asset. The canal became more than a route through Panama. It became a national economic engine. Canal income supports the country. The canal also attracts logistics, ports, shipping services, finance, and trade-related business. This is where the story becomes bigger than the canal itself. Panama is not only charging ships to pass. It is building an economy around movement. That is the real power of geographic advantage. The location creates the opportunity. But systems turn the opportunity into wealth. Panama's story is similar to Singapore's in one important way. Both show that geography can become wealth when it connects the world. Singapore used its location beside major sea routes. Panama used its narrow land bridge between two oceans. But in both cases, geography alone was not enough. A location must be organized. It must be maintained. It must be trusted. It must be useful to the rest of the world. That is what turns a place on the map into an economic machine. Panama did not become important because it was large. It became important because it was narrow. It was in the right place. And it built the infrastructure to use that place. The Panama Canal is one of the clearest examples of geography becoming money. It turned distance into revenue. It turned a route into power. And it turned a thin strip of land into one of the most valuable shortcuts in the world economy. Panama's lesson is simple. A country does not always need to be big to be important. Sometimes, it only needs to be in the exact place where the world needs to pass.